Hey y'all, so since it's the new year, I've decided that I'm going to do this question answer challenge called the 10 Homesteading Questions. Um, and it's kind of just going to plan out the 2020 and what I would like to see. So, you into homesteading. When I was about 8, my papa and I began to garden, and I think that's kind of what stemmed that's kind of the base of what started this. And then I began to watch homesteaders on YouTube and got to know their lifestyle and kind of what they want in their life. And it was similar to what I've always wanted. But I've said my whole life that I want to farm with all these animals, and me and my brother have planned it out. And so I would say probably since I was 8 and I began to garden with my pet ball, that's kind of when it started. Question 2 is, what is something you want to add to your homestead in 2020? Now, I've thought about this a lot because, as y'all know, I live in the city, and so I'm not able to have all the farm animals. I can barely get away with my chickens. And so, while I would like to add, goats and sheep and ducks and guineas and turkeys, I can't have that because they're too loud and my neighbors would complain. So, for 2020, I would like to add more garden space, more in-ground garden space, and maybe a few more chickens. My mom says no, but I would like to add a few more chickens, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But definitely, I'm going to add some more garden space, especially in-ground for like vining vegetables and fruits, melons and squash, and then just a space for other stuff to grow. So question 3 is, what is the most difficult lesson you've had to learn while homesteading? Animals don't live forever, no matter how attached you get to them. And so I think just in life, that's kind of just having animals. That's probably the most difficult lesson that I've had to learn, is you have to learn how to let go of them because they're not going to live forever. But maybe just like in general, that like it's okay to fail, that, or even if you don't succeed, it's not a failure. Last year's garden was horrible, and I didn't get anything out of it. And it was my first year to like garden, have this huge garden. And so I think that's probably the most difficult lesson, because I expected the garden to be prolific and do great, and I made sure I put it in the perfect sun space, and it just wasn't the year for me. And so I think that even if you don't succeed, it's not a failure. You learned a lesson while doing it. And so I would say that those 2 are probably the most difficult lessons that I've had. So I don't have a huge homestead. All I really have is my chickens and my garden. And so I would say probably my favorite, most least favorite chore is cleaning up the yard, because I like to see how tidy it is, even if I don't like to clean like in the house. My room can look a total mess, and I will procrastinate cleaning it. But the garden, I like to clean it because it looks so good afterwards. I really enjoy cleaning out. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because it stinks, but I like cleaning out the chicken coop because it smells nice after, even if they destroy it soon after. Watering plants, cleaning out the chicken coop. I think those are probably the favorite 2 that are also a double-edged sword. What is your favorite thing to grow? I love to grow melons. My first succession, is that even the word I need to use? My first success, we'll use that. My first successful thing to grow was a little bitty watermelon. It was this big and it was so cute. And I mean, it did not live because of me. It lived because of my pet because he went out there and watered it this large amount every single day. And so that was probably that's probably my most favorite thing to grow is melons. And I haven't grown another one since I was like 10. And so I like to grow green beans because I like to eat green beans. Cucumbers, even though I'm kind of sick of them now because I've grown them for a few years and they're so prolific that it's hard to enjoy them. So yeah, I would say melons are probably my most favorite thing to grow. What do you like most about the homesteading community? I like that I've met people that are like-minded and that I can communicate with and I can ask questions, and the community is never rude or treats you like, even if you don't know everything, you're dumb. They're very supportive. I mean, just, it's amazing. No matter if it was, I had a question about how I was growing something or how my chickens were doing, if one of them looked sick, or just even starting this YouTube thing, they have always been supportive and, made sure that they told me, how great I'm doing or how proud they were of me or stuff like that. And so I've got really close with a lot of people, and I've made like great friends. Well, number 7. What is your favorite meal to cook? I would say my favorite meal to cook is like Thanksgiving dinner. I like cooking the large day meals. Mostly because I make my Papa's ham and only I know the recipe, and so I like cooking that. I'm trying to think of something we eat regularly, or if that's not a big day meal. I like cooking steaks. I don't eat steaks a lot because they're tough. I only like chicken. But the steaks that we cook them in the oven and it's great. So we're going to say steak and potatoes. Number 8, what is your favorite holiday? Normally I would say like Thanksgiving or Christmas, because that's when most of my family kind of gets together in one place. But I like Easter. I like Easter because right after Easter I get to start planting my garden. 4th of July is pretty good too, because you get to eat good food. We'll say Easter. I like Easter because normally that's kind of the last cold days that we have here, and then right after I get to start planting the garden. So we'll say Easter. Number 9. Is your homestead where you intend to settle? No. I am 22 and I live with my parents, so I hope I don't live here for the rest of my life. I hope I get married and have kids and have my own place that's not in the middle of the city. My parents want to live here, so I don't know. But I do not intend to be here for the rest of my life. I intend to have somewhere where I can have all of my animals and my big garden, and I can be happy. Number 10. What homesteaders do you follow and enjoy learning from? I've mentioned them before. I really enjoy the Stivers. They're very amazing to me. They help me. If I have any questions, I message them on Instagram, or You know, we'll talk on the live or whatever. But I enjoy learning from Jen about the tea garden and how to use everything in the tea garden, because that would be one of my main things is I would grow it and then I wouldn't know how to use it, so I just wouldn't use it. I enjoy learning from Zach about how the fences get put up and how to protect your animals best and how to build stuff. I don't know how many videos I have saved of stuff he's built so that I can go back and build it. So I enjoy learning from them. Roots and Refuge, Jess and Maya, they're great. They have all the animals, and they not only get animals, but they talk about how they take care of them and how they feed them and the best way to take care of them. And you know, their opinions and stuff like that. So I enjoy learning from them. Let's see. VW Family Farms. VW Family Farm. VW Family Farm. The hard times as well as the good times. And so I think those are the main three that I really watch. There's a few more channels that I watch just kind of for fun. But when I watch those three, I like have to get out a pen and notebook, or I have to like type on my phone about stuff they do so that I can go back and watch it again or do it later on in my life. So yeah, that's the 10 homesteading questions. I'm really hoping that 2020 is better garden wise than 2019, because it was horrible last year. This year I'm definitely kind of cutting back on what I'm growing. Instead of wanting to grow all the things, only doing I think 4 varieties of tomatoes. But I'm gonna do a lot of those varieties. I'm gonna focus on smaller variety amounts, but larger planting amounts. Larger variety of those. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that is the 10 homesteading questions. I don't know anybody that I can tag that hasn't done it, because I'm kind of late to the party because I can never find time to film. So I will tag anyone that wants to answer these questions but has not been tagged. Let me know in the comments if you're going to do it, and then I'll come watch your video. Bye, y'all.